success and failure, both as a professional and as an ordinary man?
I think it's important to accept one thing in life, that with success comes failure. That's God's way of keeping you humble, keeping you down to earth, and telling you to keep working hard. My father always told me that whenever something good happens, it's going to be followed by something bad. So be prepared for it, but never treat them with as much importance as we tend to give them. You know, we get carried away with success and we get bogged down by failure. Don't ever let them affect you so much. Don't let the success affect you too much. Don't let the failures affect you too much. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you're doing. And like all the players said, have a dream and chase it. And don't allow anybody to tell you that you're not worthy of that dream and that you'll never achieve that dream. In fact, use that to inspire yourself to work harder. So I don't allow success and failure to affect me. Unless we win the ISL Cup, then for about a week, 10 days, I feel pretty good about myself. So yeah, that's how you deal with it.
What shaped you as you are today, and can you tell us about your journey till Chennaiyin FC?
What shaped me to what I am today? You all do biology?
Sorry?
You all learn biology in school? Yeah. My parents shaped me to what I am today. That's like 6th or 7th grade biology, yeah. So I am what I am because of my parents. I do whatever I do for the love and respect and blessing of my family. And I think at the end of the day, we all have to understand that no matter what we choose to do in life, you have to work hard for it. Nothing comes easy. In life demands a transaction out of you. If you want to achieve something, you have to sacrifice something. And that sacrifice is going to continue till your last breath. Every day you have to wake up and fight for what you believe in, fight in what you want, work hard for it. So nothing ever just lands in your lap. You have to work very hard, you have to see some very tough times, and you have to stay humble and work through it. So that's, I'd like to believe, what shaped me. I did a large part of my schooling in a boarding school. I was sent to boarding school when I was in 5th grade. I went to a boarding school, a British boarding school in Switzerland. So, you know, growing up in a British boarding school, football is pretty much all that you watch. I was thrown off my football team because I was very bad. So I became a basketball player for obvious reasons. And, but I used to love watching football. I used to love watching English football because I was in a British boarding school. I was a supporter of a wonderful club called Chelsea. And thank you. As long as you're not supporting Man United, we're all fine. And I always wanted to, when I came back to India to become an actor, I always wanted to do something with sports in India because I believe that the potential we in India have to be a sporting superpower is immense. There's huge amount of talent. We just need to find the right infrastructure, the right coaching, and the right avenues for them to achieve their potential. I never understood why, if you see certain countries which have a great focus on sports, how they manage to do so well even with a very limited population. I mean, if you see, you know, Mr. Shembri over here, he comes from Malta. I mean, Malta is the size of, Chennai is bigger than Malta, you know, as a city. But they put out such wonderful athletes there. And not only in football, in all of the sports, is because there's a huge emphasis on sports. So I always wanted to do something with sports. And I remember in 2014, I was in Rio de Janeiro for the FIFA World Cup. And I met the then head of FIFA, Mr. Sepp Blatter. And he said something which really upset me. He said, "Oh, so you're from India?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "You have, what, 5 billion, I don't know how many billion people?" And we said, "No, sir, we have about 1.2, 1.3. And he said, "Yeah, so 1.2 billion people and you can't put 11 people on a World Cup pitch?" And I said, you know, he's right. We have the population, we have the talent, so why aren't we doing something? So I came back and I wanted to do something with football. I owned at that point of time a Kabaddi team. There's something known as the Pro Kabaddi League, which I have a team in. And that's when the ISL was starting. Thank you. Yes, that also is a great sport. Kabaddi, as many people don't know, is actually an indigenous Indian sport. Kabaddi is over, I think, 3,000 to 5,000 years old. Its origins lie in the Mahabharata with, you all know the Mahabharata, the story? You all have heard of Abhimanyu and the Chakravyuh?
Yes.
Students, only the teachers are saying yes. Yeah. So that's the origins of Kabaddi started there because Abhimanyu was one person who got stuck inside the Chakravyuh, which was a battle formation of 7 circles. That's why in Kabaddi you have 1 raider against 7 defenders, and that's how Kabaddi started. So it's steeped in our mythology, and it's our sport. And anyway, so I had a team in that, so I was very keen to do something in football, and that's when the ISL came about, and that's when we had the opportunity. We tried to get a team, and we didn't win the bid, and that's when suddenly, all of a sudden, about 2 months before the first league started, one team dropped out, and suddenly Chennai opened up. I've spent a lot of time in and around Chennai. As a child, I used to spend a lot of time with my father when he used to be filming over there. Once I became an actor, I've shot almost 4 to 5 films in Tamil Nadu. So I always had an affinity to the state. And my partner, Vita Dani, and I, we saw this opportunity, and we just knew that, Tamil Nadu needed a football team to support in the ISL, and that's how we started, Chennaiyin FC, and down the road, we were looking for somebody to become the face of Chennaiyin FC, and I mean, who else can you think of but MS Dhoni, right? I mean, Mahi's practically Tamilian, so, he very graciously agreed to come on and worked a lot with us and did wonderful stuff with us. And that's how the journey started. Season 1, I still remember that we signed on Marco Materazzi, who was our manager in season 1. And within a week of signing him, he had come to India to start the camp. And we had under a month to prepare a team to put together. I don't know how we managed it. We went to what is now popularly known as the Marina Arena, which is where Chennaiyin FC play their home matches. And I remember I went to check the pitch, and I went, and there was the curator of Marina Arena. I said, okay, this is nice, where's the pitch? He said, yes, sir. So I said, but there's no pitch. So I said, this is mud, where's the pitch? So I said, why is there's no grass? He said, no, sir, there was a wedding going on last night, sir. So, so there was no grass. So I literally remember, we've actually had to grow the grass at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. And I remember the day we had our first home match, and I love telling the story. So Chennaiyin FC played its first ever ISL match in Goa against Goa. And by the grace of God, we won, and Chennaiyin FC produced the first ever Indian player to score in the ISL. His name was Balwant Singh, it was his birthday yesterday, and he was the first ever Indian to score in the ISL. We won that match, and then we came to Chennai to play our first ever home match. And it was going to be against our neighbors and one of our biggest rivals, Kerala Blasters, and a wonderful team from Kerala with a huge support system. And we were panicking because we said, this is our first home match. Everybody loves CSK. Are they going to come watch CFC? So we were saying that nobody's going to show up. So we were very nervous, and I remember the day before the match, we were checking on ticket sales, and we had sold some 100 tickets. And I don't know what to do, so I was flying down, and I told my dad that, I'm going down and try and support the team. He said, oh, okay, I'll also come. So I said, really, will you come? I said, okay, can I kind of leak that information out that, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's going to be in the stadium, so then maybe somebody will buy tickets and come. So we were trying whatever we could. So he said, yeah, no problem. In fact, I'll call my friend and he'll come also. I said, who? He said, I'll call Rajni. I was like, sure, I don't mind. And I remember the national anthem played, and Kerala Blasters at that point of time had another owner, which some of you just might know. His name was Sachin Tendulkar. And Sachin decided to show up as well. And so suddenly on this one sofa in, the owner's box, there was my father, then there was Rajni uncle, and then there was Sachin Tendulkar. And the entire stadium was full because they got to know that Rajni Garu had come to see the match. And till about 80 minutes, I looked over to Vita, my partner. I said, we have a slight problem. So she said, what? I said, none of the spectators are looking at the match. So the entire stadium, there were about 30,000 people, and they were just looking at this one sofa with Amitabh Bachchan, the great Rajnikant, and the great Sachin Tendulkar, and nobody's watching the football. So I said, I'm very happy that they've come, but nobody, can we send them to the pitch? Or nobody was watching. And I remember, I think it was the 89th minute. Ganeshai was the 89th minute, and our then vice captain, who then went on to become one of the legends of the club, Bernard Mendy, scored an unbelievable overhead bicycle kick. And suddenly, everybody looked at this guy and they said, wait, who is he? And that's when he became Mas Mendy from then on, and suddenly they started following the football. So that is actually how we started. We put this team together in under a month, and they just came together. We reached the semi-finals. Sadly, we couldn't make it to the finals. We lost to Kerala on away goals. And the next season, season 2, we went on. We were at the bottom of the table. We were in 8th position. And suddenly, the boys just went on a run, and we ended up winning, which you saw the visuals. So season 2, we won the ISL. And then we did that again in season 4. And this season, we've had a slightly shaky start, but I have immense faith in these boys. They're just so wonderful. They play with so much heart, and they give it their all. And I'm very, very convinced that we've turned it around, and you're going to see Chennaiyin FC. I don't know about winning. That we leave to God and to these boys, but we'll definitely qualify. Right, guys? So that's been the Chennaiyin FC journey, and the way the people have just taken to the team, the way they've become like family to us, it's been amazing. It's been such a rewarding experience for me as an owner.
Thank you, sir. That was a really inspiring success story, sir. Sir, I have a question. Well, how do you differentiate Abhishek Bachchan as a son and Abhishek Bachchan as a father?
Ayo. How do I differentiate? I think what's really cool about being a parent in today's day and age is, and you all will realize in time to come, that I think the rules have changed as to how we were brought up. There's been a huge generational gap. So today, the difference between being a son and being a father is almost nothing. You should pretty much be the same. Because the one thing that I've learned from my daughter, I have an 8-year-old daughter, Aradhya. The one thing I've learned is that, Aishwarya didn't give birth to her. She gave birth to the parents in Aishwarya and me. Children really do teach. She's a gift from God for all of us, and we learn so much from her. So I think just be yourself. There are no rules. I think, when you all grow up, in school, yes, follow the rules, please follow the rules. But you will realize that, the one thing life teaches you is that it'll throw so many things at you, and you have to figure it out for yourself. At that point in time, you have loving parents, you'll have a loving family, you'll have friends, you'll have a support system. But at the end of the day, life teaches you that you have to figure things out for yourself, and you have to do what you think is best. Because at the end of the day, at night when you lie down, you could be lying down next to the most beautiful woman in the world, but you sleep with your own conscience, and you sleep with yourself, and you have to be at peace with that. So you should go to sleep knowing that you gave the day the best that you had, and you did your best, and that's all anybody can ask for. So there are no rules about being a father, being a son, being a brother, being a husband. You just have to be who you are, be honest, and try and be good. So there are no rules. Just do what you believe is the right thing to do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Till you graduate, you do exactly what your principal tells you to do, okay? After that, you can start thinking for yourself. Till then, listen to your teachers.
Sir, could you define Abhishek Bachchan as a student, an actor, an entrepreneur, a family man, and a sports person?
Yeah, don't ask me easy questions, please. I think that best sums up what I try to be. You have to keep working, you have to keep hustling every day, you have to keep grinding, so you have to be a work in progress. You know, there is no finished product, you got to keep working on yourself till you can. My greatest inspiration in life is my father. He's 77 years old. He just completed 50 years in the film industry. He's 77. I spoke to him when I was boarding the flight this morning from Mumbai at 9 o'clock. He's filming his new movie in Poland. So it was some 4 o'clock in the morning there, and he had woken up, and I said, "Why are you up so early?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going to the gym." So I said, "You're 77, you're Amitabh Bachchan, you don't need to go to the gym." He's like, no, I need to go to the gym because, you know, I have to go shoot and it's some minus 20 degrees. And he was so excited about going to work. And I said, I want to be like that when I'm 77. I want to have that zest for life. I want to have that enthusiasm about going out to go prove myself. So keeping that in mind, you have to just be a work in progress. You have to wake up every day and face that challenge and try and achieve that goal for the day. If a man at 77 who, according to me, has achieved everything there is to achieve, is still hungry and still wants to do new things, then we have no excuse. We have to still work very, very hard.
Sir, in your life, which is the most exciting part and why? And how do you balance all your work, different roles?
You're asking me really difficult questions. Well, this is definitely going to rank as one of the most exciting parts, yeah. You know, I do what I do as a film actor, as an entrepreneur, to bring a smile on people's face. You know, that gives me maximum happiness when you go out. It could be, you know, you could be having a bad day, and one person will come out to you randomly and say, "Oh, we love your work," and that's it, your day is made. You know, so I think I get to live my dream every day. So that gives me a lot of happiness. And I think that if, as an individual, you get to live your dream every day. My dream was to be a film actor. I never even dreamt I'd be sitting in SSVM talking to all you wonderful students. You know, it's a dream. And I live it every day, so, you know, it makes me very happy, and I think that would be my greatest success. I forgot your second part of your question.
How do you balance all your commitments?
I have a
towards
great manager called Basuri. She handles everything. I just show up to where I have to go. Full on, yeah, she's great. Full woman power. No, I think if you love doing what you do, then you find time for it, you know. I mean, the one thing you have to maybe sacrifice a bit is your sleep. So I only end up sleeping 3-4 hours a night, sadly. I like sleeping, but you don't get to sleep. But if you want to achieve what you want to achieve, if you want to do what you want to do and all of it, then you find time for it. So yeah, if you love doing what you do, you'll always find time. Otherwise, you'll just find an excuse.
Hello.
Yeah, all right.
As you said, it was your dream to be an actor. It is your dream to be an actor. So this is a very interesting question.
Okay.
Which is one of your own movies? Which is your favorite one, and why?
In all honesty, I really don't like my work. So I don't like any of my films when I see them. Yeah, sorry. I think that comes from the fact that as an actor or as a human being in life, no matter what we do, not just acting, you should try and grow every day. So when we make a film, once you finish shooting it, it takes, you know, sometimes 6 months to a year for it to release. In that interim period, I'd like to believe that you grow as an artist. So when I see it, when it releases, I'm like, I could have done better. Oh, I wish I'd worked harder over here. So you always find flaws. And I think that's a good thing, because that means you're growing as a creative person. In any walk of life. I'm sure if you ask any of my footballers, they'll tell you the same thing. You know, Henry scored the first goal of Chennaiyin FC this season, but if you ask him today, he'll feel good about it, but he said, I could have done it even better. That means he demands more of himself. And I think that's what you should always aspire to. And I think, you know, contentment is leads to complacency, which you should never be complacent about whatever you do. It's an honor and a privilege that you get to do whatever you do, so you should not take it for granted. So keeping that in mind, I always find huge flaws in all my work, and I revisit a lot of my films regularly, and I make notes about how I can improve my performance and try and incorporate that in my next film. So I've never liked any of my films.
Then, by your opinion, how do you prioritize like good movies? Like, which makes a good movie?
A movie, when you hear the script or you read the script, and at the end of it, you're like, I want to do that. It has to be a gut feel. You know, I've done movies like from Guru to Sarkar to Yuva to Happy New Year to Houseful to Bol Bachchan. You know, you have to do a whole different array of films. It's because at that point in time, I said, I want to be a part of this, you know. I want to have fun making this film, and so I'll do a Happy New Year. You know, I want to do something intense and serious, I'll do a Sarkar. I want to do something inspirational, I'll do a Guru. So it's just what touches you, because nobody really knows which film is going to work or not going to work. It's what you as a creative person want to say at that point of time. So that's how you choose it. You have to just trust your instinct.
Sir, I promise this will be kind of an easy question. What is your opinion on the importance of quality time with your family?
I do whatever I do for my family. There's nothing more important for me and should not be for you than family. So me spending time with my family gives me the greatest happiness. The only thing that makes me happier than being on a film set or being at the stadium supporting my teams is to be at home with my family. And, oh, okay. That's some of them there. That's my dad, that's my mother, that's my nephew Agastya, that's my elder sister and her daughter Navya, that's my cousin sister, that's my little princess, that's my wife and myself, so yeah. So nothing gives me, I mean, I think family is the most important thing. They keep you loved, they keep you grounded, they remind you that, you know, why you do what you do. So I think family time is very, very important.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, how...
Easy question, huh?
This is easy. Sir...
Like ask me, you know, what's your favorite color or something.
Okay.
Ask
Sir,
me all
what
these
is your favorite
philosophical...
color, sir?
I really don't know. I think white, which I know technically is not a color. Yeah, okay, next question, yeah.
How is... could you share like your experience with the SSVM family?
Of what? My experience
Yes,
here?
yeah.
I was terrified. When I came and sat down here, ma'am asked me, why are you so quiet? So I'm like, I'm a bit overwhelmed because, you know, to have a facility like this as a student is unbelievable. You all are so, so lucky. And I remember when I was a student, I wish I had a stage like this that I could go and perform all my plays on. This is great. And you all have mics on top of that. We had to scream. Because, you know, in those days, you're like, your voice must be heard in the last, you know, row. And we didn't have mics. This is just such a world-class facility. And the space you have is great. I'm so envious of all of you all. So, yeah, I'm very overwhelmed. I'm very embarrassed by all the stuff that they've done. It's very embarrassing when you see your follies of your childhood when you do movies and I mean I was seeing some of those photographs. I'm like, why did I even do this? But I'm very touched as well. I think it's so nice that you all have shown so much respect, not just to me but to my family and to my team, and that gives me a lot of happiness, and you all have truly won my heart over. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Namaste, sir. So first, thanks to correspondent ma'am and everyone for the stage and for all the opportunities that you give us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
So sir, coming to advices, आपको advices लेना अच्छा लगता है कि advices देना अच्छा
नहीं,
लगता है?
मुझे advice लेना अच्छा लगता है. मेरी हैसियत नहीं है कि मैं advice दूं किसी को. I love getting advice. I like to give advice. Students, let me tell you, no man, just have fun, enjoy it, work hard, play hard, say thank you for your blessings every night, Because trust me, to be in a place like this, it truly is a blessing. You're very lucky to be born to the families that you are, that your parents have sent you all the way here. You're very lucky to be educated by such wonderful teachers. And just enjoy it. And you know, today's day and age, there's so many people who tell you so many things. Do this, do that, say that, believe in this, believe in that. It's all rubbish. Just be happy. If you're going to be happy, everything will fall in place. Be happy, be thankful.
Thank you, sir.
And keep supporting Chennaiyin FC.
Yes, sir, we will.
Of course, sir. Thank you, sir. Your words really have helped and inspired so many of us here.
I'm thankful for that. Thank you
And-
for having me.
No, we thank you.
And I'll
for
just give a
keeping us
shout out
on.
to your band. Is so sick. It's insane. They're so good. No, but well done. Thank you. You all are brilliant. And all of you students, really, thank you so much. Your love has been unbelievable. We go back so inspired. Thank you for having us. And I'll never forget this day. You all have just been brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.